All right, I've decided to start a cut. Now, this is partly because I just want to look good for summer, going on holiday, going to be at the pool, want to have abs, all of that. But I also want to prove something. In a few days, I'll be getting some blood work done, and I'm really interested to see what my HDL and LDL cholesterol is. Right now, I weigh 102 kilograms. That's 224 pounds. I'm 6'3", so that's not too bad. But in terms of BMI, it is slightly overweight. Now, BMI isn't the greatest measure for people like me that lift weights regularly because it doesn't really take into account muscle mass. It's just worked out from your weight and your height. Body fat percentage or body composition doesn't come into it at all. So I'm not really overweight, but still 102 kilograms is the heaviest I've ever been. It's probably time to lose some of the fat. I have been gaining for quite a while. There's definitely a few more wobbly bits around. I definitely look smaller when I look in the mirror. Now, you might be thinking, you look smaller. Don't you mean bigger? Well, actually, no. When you've got a bit of muscle, when you get leaner, you look bigger. The less lean you get, the less muscular you look. It's for two reasons. One, being lean allows you to actually see all the definition and see the muscle that is there. There's no fat covering it and obscuring it. Two is there's an optical illusion. When you're lean, you have less fat on your waist. Your waist becomes a lot narrower, but the width of your shoulders doesn't change that much. So you get a taper effect. As you lose fat around the midriff, your shoulders begin to look like they're growing. You'll also lose fat from your arms, which makes your biceps suddenly pop out and look huge. Same thing happens on your thighs. You lose fat on your legs, your quads suddenly stick out and look ginormous. You also start to see a lot more definition in your chest, and your chest will look a lot bigger too because the fat around it has gone. Same thing happens on your back. Suddenly you'll see this V taper coming in, which makes your back look a lot wider. So I want to look good again, and I'm carrying a bit more fat than I should be. But I also want to prove something. I'm going to get some blood work done very soon, and I want to see what my HDL and LDL cholesterol are. I think because I am heavier than I've ever been, my cholesterol levels are going to be slightly on the high end. I am going to lose around 9 kilos of fat, and I'm going to do it whilst eating a lot of steak, a lot of eggs, a lot of ground beef, a lot of pork, a lot of chicken, and I'm going to have nightly treats as well. So we'll be having the odd bit of chocolate, cake, ice cream, fitting it all into my macros and calories. I'm going to be eating these foods that health organizations and diet guidelines say you should stay away from because they're associated with higher cholesterol, and I'm going to lower my cholesterol at the same time. So I'm getting a blood test done now, and I'm going to get another blood test done at the end of the cut, and we'll compare to see what the difference is. I'm expecting my cholesterol levels to improve as I get leaner, regardless of what I'm eating. Now, this is going to be a much slower cut than I've ever done before. I want to maintain as much strength as possible, preferably all of it. And I'm not going to be using MyFitnessPal to track my macros. I'm going to be using Carbon Diet Coach. This is a smarter solution. It's not free, and it adjusts your macros and calories based on your weigh-ins and how fast you're making progress or not towards your goal. So an example of what it does, if I go 500 calories over my maintenance one day, it will adjust my next few days or the next week to get those 500 calories back and to keep me on track. Or if I'm being accurate, tracking everything as I should and eating the macros that it's given me, but my weigh-ins show that I'm not making any progress, it will adjust my macros for me so that I can start making progress. It's really cool, but obviously it relies on accurate tracking and honesty. Right, so I guess we need to see what I look like. I'm not looking forward to this part. I don't look anything like my social media pictures at the moment because I'm about 17 kilos heavier than I am in them. But here goes. All right, so this is the beginning of my cut, 13th of February, 2022. I'm at 17.5% body fat, and I feel like I look like shit. So I'm 17.5% body fat right now. If I get down to 93 kilograms, which is a 9 kilogram loss, I will be at 9% body fat if I do it without losing any muscle. That is the key question. That's 17.5%. That's tested using body fat calipers. So there's a little bit of inaccuracy there, but I think it's about right. I'll do another body fat caliper test when I get to the goal weight. If I'm at 9% at 93 kilograms, then it would suggest that I haven't lost any muscle. If I get to 93 kilograms and my body fat percentage is a lot higher than 9%, then it would suggest that I have lost muscle. Anyway, that's all for this video. I'll update you in due course.